Shalom, shalom, Israel. I'm ready to dive back into the curses of Deuteronomy through the Spirit, and I'm gonna pick up from where I left off at through the Spirit. Right, but first and foremost, before I even dive into the precepts, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That is the name of the Most High, right? Being Yahweh, right? In the name of Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, being the name of Yahweh Shai is Jesus, so-called, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna dive right into the lesson through the Spirit, right? And kicking it off with the book of Deuteronomy again, right? And I'm gonna dive into a few more curses through the Spirit. Shalak, I don't got my headphones right now, so bear with me with the audio or whatnot, right? But picking off from where I left off at through the Spirit, right? Verse 16, Deuteronomy chapter 28, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. All right, so we already dove into the curses in the city, meaning, right, being cursed in the city is dealing with just being in a downtrodden state, right? Fucked up, you feel me? Basically, in the city, right? And, it's pretty plain or obvious that, if you effed up in the city, you're not going to be living too good. And this is talking about a whole nation of people. It's not just talking about one person or two people or one family of people. It's talking about a whole entire race of people. All right, and when you go into that curse right there, only our people can identify with that, right, through the spirit of prophecy. No matter where you go, right, our people are cursed in the city. Moving on, and cursed shalt thou be in the field, right? Who is in the fields picking the cotton, right, picking the fresas or the strawberries, right, as Northern Kingdom would say, right, picking all manner of just crops and sugarcane plantations, and no time to rest, no time to sleep, right? Full day shifts, right? With hardly any food, so on and so forth, right? We was the ones cursed in the field as well, man. We was in the fields picking all those crops to the so-called white man for no pay, for the free, right? And so that's another curse that identifies with our people, right? When you look at prophecy and, nations as a whole, right? Our people, right? We went through that on a major level, and no, other group of people other than outside of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or God chosen people, the Israelites, can, truthfully say that they've been through the things we've been through in terms of being in the slave field, slave plantations for over 400 years, right? So on and so forth, right? And being cursed in the city since we've got brought over here, man, literally. Right? Reading on. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. What does that mean? Meaning what? If you start a so-called business, it's not going to prosper on a major level, right? Like these other nations around us, like the so-called white man, you feel me? They start a business, whatever, they making some big income. And, they people really got their back. But when we start a business, we got to go through hell. We got to fill out all these damn papers. We got to get approved by the so-called government. And so, it's a whole bunch of other things that gotta be set up. Then when you do get the business, you gotta pay all types of taxes, just a whole huge process. Not saying that, our people, we don't have billionaires and whatnot, right? If you have ears to hear, you understand that what the riches of this world ultimately is what? From the spiritual demon Satan on a deeper level, right? It comes with a cost, man, your soul, right? So a lot of these rich people, especially our people, they sold their soul for the bag. Right, not saying you can't be rich and be righteous, but that's the case in most cases, right? You're not gonna be a damn billionaire and be an Israelite. You feel me? This is just like not gonna really be a thing for real, right? Because, well, I won't say you can't be a billionaire and be an Israelite, but you can't be a billionaire and proclaim you being an Israelite without being canceled. Just like Kanye West, that man, he lost all his money in a matter of days, confessing that we are the so-called Jews according to the Bible. Right, and you see what happened to him, right? That's some curses, man. Only our people had to go through something like that for professing the truth, man. You see what we got to go through, right? But continuing on through the Spirit, it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep." Right. So some of these curses are dealing with us actually being in the holy land of Israel, right? Our homeland, which we're native to, right? And it's saying that we're not going to prosper for the most part in our land, right? Our animals aren't going to prosper. Our crops aren't going to prosper. We're not going to be able to own our own, so-called vineyard, right? Provide for ourselves like we did in the days of old. Reading on verse 19. Cursed thou be when thou comest in, and cursed thou be when thou goest out. Right? And that's literally on a spiritual level. Right? An example of that would be, let's say, literally, man, you going into a store. Right? You're cursed, man. Right? When you go into a damn a store, right, you know, you could be without no weapon, you know, with your face revealed, without a hoodie on, right? You just always feel like, you know, somebody gonna think you're stealing just because of the so-called, you know, stereotype that your people maintain as being thugs and so on and so forth, right? So, you know, you kind of come in that thing, you gotta, you know, you can't really, you know, do as much as you like to do and just be comfortable, man. You always feel like somebody watching you, somebody ready to say you stealing, you know, so on and so forth, man. It's like you can't, you know what I'm saying, find any type of comfort or rest, right? And the fact that we can't just live our lives normally and happily without, you know, any type of just false accusations or whatnot, man. Right? That's being cursed when I go in, cursed when I come out, right? You might leave a store, you know, they might kind of think you stealing, right? You got a little beeper machine going off. Whole time you pay for everything you had in your bags, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what's being cursed when I go in, when I go out, man. And there's more to it than that too. You know, wherever you go for real, you just cursed. Right? You're not gonna prosper. No matter what country you move to, the people that occupy that country, they're gonna look at you differently. Right? That's being cursed when I come in, when I go out, man. And no matter if you go to China, no matter if you go to India, no matter if you go to Iraq, Iran, Pakistan, Russia, right, whatever the case may be, they're gonna look at you differently because what? You're an Israelite, right? And you know these curses and these nations know who we are, really. You know, on a deeper level, at least the elites of these people. But you know, the basic people, they don't kind of know. You know, they might have a little knowledge or whatnot, but for the most part, a lot of these people know that we're God's chosen. You know, and our people are the only people that don't know, because guess what? It goes back to the curses, right? And you know, not only that, but we're treated horribly. We're treated like trash wherever we are. A lot of people think that they can just move to Africa with the so-called Africans to the so-called white man, and you know, think everything will be just willy-nilly. But you know, really, when they go out, move to these different African countries, it's really damn. It's like oppressive as hell, man. And not only that, but you get looked at differently, right? You get looked at as a black sheep, right? Everybody can look like you, similar to you, same features or whatnot, but you know, they know that they're not the same people, right? You kind of, you know, you can't live comfortably because you just constantly feeling like, damn, I can't, you know what I'm saying, even blend in with these people, yo. And you know, you still gonna get treated like shit over there too. You might be getting treated better a little bit, but nevertheless, you still gonna get treated like shit. Right, reading on. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings whereby thou hast forsaken me. Right, so the Lord, that's what he did, man. He sent cursing, vexation, right, and rebuke. Let's go into that word, vexation. Right? The state of being annoyed, frustrated, or worried. Some people are constantly frustrated. They're constantly annoyed. They're constantly worried about their job, about their housing situation, about their children, about their family, about their belongings, right? Whatever it is, man. About their car, right? I mean, there's not one single day that just goes by and, you know, you don't feel no type of worry, anxiety. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of the curses, bro. We live, you know, vexed, stressed out, man. Irritated, right? And nobody is suffering from those curses on the earth as a people like we do. That's how you know we the people of the book. All right, I'm going to that word rebuke too, right? Rebuke. Express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or action. That's what the Most High did, man. He sent those things, that anxiety, right? That worry, right? And, you know, just not feeling like you're at rest, right? To rebuke us, man, right? You know, to express his disapproval towards us as a people and us not following and serving him and, you know, the way we're supposed to, right? Reading on. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. You can't make this shit up, bro. Pestilence, right? What's pestilence, right? If you go into the word pestilence, really is dealing with, you know, like an old English word for disease, right? A fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague, right? So we deal with the Northern Kingdom, right? The so-called Native Americans, right? They suffer all manner of disease from the colonizers. They suffer from what? Syphilis, right? They suffer from with chicken pox, right? You know, all type of, you know, different diseases that was brought over here from the oppressors, right? And that didn't just happen by chance. You didn't have just millions of people who never, you know, had to really deal with those type of diseases on a massive scale like that, right? That didn't just happen out of nowhere, man. That's because we disobeyed our God, right? And that only happened to our people, dog. Well, I'm not saying you don't have other diseases that kill other people, but I'm saying that happened specifically to our people because before they came over to us, you feel me, bothering us when we was at peace, for real, nigga, we wasn't dealing with none of that. You feel me? We had all our, you know, these so-called herbs and stuff, you know, curing these different diseases. But, you know, those diseases were new, you know, and ultimately the Most High, you know, he just made it so that it turned us up, man. You know, and there was no way that, you know, we could really bounce back from it. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was so widespread, right? And that's a part of the curses, man. Even dealing with, you know, blacks and Hispanics, right? You know, certain diseases that we died from too, right? As a nation, right? During slavery, on them slave ships, sicknesses, you know, things, you know, we weren't really, you know, catered towards, or it's like, let me not say catered, but things, you know, we weren't, you know, accustomed to, right? Because, you know, diseases amongst our people, of course, you know, diseases is always going to exist, but on a, you know, a level to where it's like, bro, that shit is happening on a major scale, right? And it's like unpreventable, nigga. Like, what? We wasn't dealing with that at first when we was not under these curses, right? That's the Most High sending his anger and his wrath towards us in the form of diseases, man. Because the Most High, he judges, right, righteously according to, you know, whatever he deems to be a just judgment. And that's what he deemed to be a just judgment through cursing us right there, you know, bring it upon us all manner of different plagues and pestilences and diseases and famines, right? Reading on. Right, until you have consumed ye from off the land, right? And literally the Native Americans, they was what? Reduced in number drastically, right? And most of the population was killed off by diseases. You can't make this shit up. Verse 22, the Lord shall smite thee with the consumption, with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword meaning with what? War, weapons, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And that's exactly what happened. We perished from off the land, man. Right, from off the land of the so-called Americas, man. Right, our people declined in numbers drastically within a few decades, man. Right, and not just the Native Americans, but the Hispanics, so-called black people. Right, millions of us died on our way over here to America to begin with, and not to mention while we was in America in slavery, nigga. You feel me? Verse 23, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron, man. Right. Reading on, the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust from heaven. It shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed, right? That's dealing with us being in our land once again, right? Meaning the Most High, he wasn't going to provide rain for us on a spiritual level, being on these curses. So guess what? Our crops will dry up, right? The animals wouldn't be able to, you know, whatever the case may be. And, you know, ultimately we wouldn't prosper. Verse 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And that's literally, you know, what happened during slavery, right? Our people try to rebel in certain cases in slavery, right? And guess what? They may have had a huge collection of people that want to, you know, they say, you know, we tired of this shit, man. We ready to get our get back. But guess what? Hey, the colonizers, they always got us back under control, man, because that's the curse, right? Right? We went in one way against them, and we flee 7 ways before them, right? Because, you know, at first, you know, you say, you know what, we're going to go head to head with y'all, man. We're going to try to fight for our freedom. And guess what? That shit didn't go as planned. And, nigga, they had us running 7 ways before them, bro. Trying to flee from them. You see what I'm saying? So that's a curse. Right? And it says, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, dealing with us being what? Scattered throughout the 4 corners. Scattered throughout every country you could possibly name on the face of the earth. Right? From our homeland, right, where we used to be blessed in all the time before, you know, we went aside from serving the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 26, and like carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air and the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Right? See that? The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch whereof thou canst not be healed. Right? Diseases again. Verse 28, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And that's exactly what's happening to our people. You look at our people, bro. Our are known for having the most mental health issues amongst a specific group of people, yo. Right? I mean, we got literally generational trauma passed down from our ancestors through, so-called genetics, man. Right? Can't make this shit up, bro. Our people really suffer from anxiety, depression, right? Just, being bugged out, all manner of just, mental health illnesses, man. Right? Because we disobeyed our Most High. But guess what? Now we're subject unto those different spirits, right? At an all-time high, the Most High cast us out of his sight. And he's no longer, blessing us because, we didn't want to serve him in fullness and gladness and sincerity with all our heart, all our soul, and all our strength, like it was commanded us in the Torah. So guess what? The Lord, he plagued us, man, as a people. Verse 29, and thou shalt group at noonday. Thou shalt group at noonday as the blind group in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. That's right, man. Right? What does it mean to grope? Right? The Lord said we're going to grope at noonday as the blind grope within darkness. Right? Grope. It means to feel about, search blindly or certainly with the hands. Right? That's how people are, man. Like, we grope at noonday. Right? Like the blind grope in darkness, man. Because, like, we don't know what's going on. Right? We're lost as a people. Right? We're as if we were blind, man. Right? Ain't nothing getting done. Right, we're still in the same predicament that we were in when we came over here on slave ships. So over 400 fucking years, niggas are still in the same circumstances, bro. Only thing is, niggas got houses now. Well, not really even houses, but a place to stay and rest their feet, and they're not physically on the slave plantation, but mentally, nigga, we're a slave, right? And that's a part of the curses too. I'm gonna get to that later on, Lord willing. It says, and thou shalt go up at noonday as the blind go within darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. And that's exactly what's going on until this very day amongst our people. Right? We constantly working all these jobs, barely making ends meet, right? 40-hour work weeks every week, right? And it's just like ain't nothing getting done. No progress is being made, right? No generational wealth is being stored. Verse 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. That's exactly what happened during slavery, man. You had the men, they had their women, right? And then, they kind of was separated from their women, and the slave master will rape their women. You see what I'm saying? So that's a curse. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. And thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Because what? Everything was took from us from the enemy that the Lord sent to us, man, in verse 25, right? And it'll elaborate on that enemy later on through the chapter, right? Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt not have none to rescue them. And you notice how it says that word enemies, right? An enemy is not a friend. An enemy is somebody that's against you, right? So according to the Bible, we have enemies. Not everybody is your friend. Not everybody loves you, right? You have scriptures like in the scriptures that tell you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's not dealing with loving your enemy. Why would you love a person that rape, robbed, and murders your whole family? That makes no damn sense. If you do that, you'll be the next victim. Right? When that's talking about love your neighbor as you love yourself, it's talking about love your people as you love yourself. Right? It's not talking about loving the people that destroyed your people and burnt all your altars down and temples. Right? That's not somebody you want to love that literally bless him in the name of the Most High, spitting on his holy land and stomping on all his holy vessels and priests and just do all manner of evil against us, right? So that's not what that's talking about. Reading on, right? And thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, right? Them slave sales, bro, right? Literally, bro, that's in the Bible. Us being sold as slaves for nothing, for a damn penny. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, right? Us being separated from our families on our way over here, and on our way here, and actually being here in the land, being taken away from our daughters and our sons and our fathers and our mothers and our grandmothers and our cousins and our aunts and our uncles, right? And there shall be no might in thine hand. Literally, you won't be able to get them back. You can't do nothing about it, bro, because it's just like the Most High, he plagued us as a people. He cursed us, and we just won't be able to get them back because the Lord made it so we can't. right? Because he's had it up to here with us. You know, we've been stiff-necked, hard-headed people, you know, for such a long time. And the Most High just had enough of our bullshit. And he's like, you know what? All right, bet. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to match y'all energy, right? And thou shalt only, reading on. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed away. And that's exactly what happens to all of us, so-called blessed and Hispanics and Native Americans, right? Mexico, for instance, or Salakia. Well, yeah, right? You got these different countries, right? The whole Americas, so on and so forth. I mean, this is the land of these so-called Mexicans, man, right? Native Americans, man. And they, guess what? They came over here and they said, this is ours now, right? And they called it the so-called 13 colonies, New Amsterdam, all these different names, right? And, you know, that's exactly, you know, relating back to the curses, right? You know, a nation eating up our land, right? Because now they make it seem as if we're the ones that's damn when we cross the so-called borders and stuff, as if we're invading them, when this is our land to begin with. You see what I'm saying? That's a curse. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, we get bashed and we called immigrants and all manner of just thugs and cartels, when it's, you know, it's like, bro, y'all the real thugs, y'all the real cartels, y'all the ones dropping out the drugs in the hoods, y'all the ones dropping out the guns in the hoods. Like, it's not even like this is some new information. I mean, this has been out for a long time, right? But now we see it lining up with the Bible, and, you know, and that just, you know, feel me, just makes everything that much more, it just makes everything that much more, like, just crazy. So shalt thou be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with the sword bush that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Meaning what? You're going to suffer from all manner of just, you know, things going on with your joints, your back, right? Don't Jake always be complaining about my back hurt, right? Don't want Israelites always complaining about how our backs be hurting, especially our parents, our mothers, right? And how, you know, damn, my knees are giving out. I'm only, what, 30 years old? Man, you know, that's the curses. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods with a stone. Right? So we literally was brought into another nation, right? Into these other nations, man. Especially predominantly the so-called white man, right? That our fathers never knew. Right, and, you know, here we would be worshiping other gods, wood and stone, and that's on a literal level. Like, literally, our people out here, you know, the two major religions in the whole world, Christianity and Islam. What they got, the Kaaba stone, they worship that damn stone in Israel, and then Christianity, they got the cross, that wooden cross that our Lord and Savior Yahushua Mashiach died on, you know, and they worship that too. When that's literally an instrument of death that killed your Lord and Savior, who died for your sins, so that you could be here right now, you know, existing and living, right? So, you know, that's on a literal level. And other gods too, not just white Jesus and Buddha or Muhammad, right? There's other gods too that our people will be serving, right? Reading on. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee, right? And what is that going into? Us being called niggas. Everywhere you go in America, or it's like around the world, by every single people group, we're called niggas. Right, you can literally have a random group of so-called Asian people, yo, who never been to America, who never seen a so-called black person, and they somewhere in Hong Kong calling us niggas. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a curse. Nobody has a term like that, a derogatory term like that placed upon their people that, you know, is just tossed around to and fro, like us. And so we're the ones called niggas and spicks and wetbacks and immigrants and, you know, all these different terms that they got for our people. I mean, this a whole list of them. I mean, literally, right? You know, that's a curse too, being called niggas, man. Right? That word that they used to degrade us in slavery, man. Right? That's a curse. Thou shalt carry my seed out into the field and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them. Thou shalt have all the trees throughout all thy coasts, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive shall cast its fruit. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into slavery or captivity. That's exactly what happened. All thy trees and thy fruit of thy land shall the locust consume. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. And that's exactly what happened, bro. These nations, they came amongst us, with nothing, and all of a sudden they run this whole entire world. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't make that shit up. They came in our land, took all of our shit, and really got rich off of our shit, and left us with nothing. Not even the crumbs or the leftovers, nigga. They took everything from us, because that's a curse. Verse 43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Because we used to be rulers of this earth, like these white people are right now to this day, right? They got influence around the whole world. We used to be like that at one point in time. But since we stopped worshiping and serving our God, guess what? He gave us over unto these curses. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Right? So that's what happened, man. We didn't want to keep his commandments. So guess what? He commanded us to serve us. He commanded us to serve our enemies in a land that we knew not. He commanded us to be given over unto the sword. He commanded us to be given over unto all manner of disease and all manner of just oppression and labor and sorrow, man, of heart and of mind, right? Until we return unto him, that's when he'll reverse everything, right? And that's what we got to do in these last days of the people. We got to return to the Lord our God as a nation, and then we'll be healed from everything we've been dealing with for all this long, man, for all these years, because we tried everything. We tried the Christian church. We tried marching with MLK. We tried Malcolm X. We tried Islam, right? We tried all these different things, man, the Black Lives Matter movement, and that's why we're still in the same messed up predicament. And matter of fact, those things made it even worse for real. Right? Therefore thou shalt serve thine Slayer. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right? And that's exactly what it is. Our people constantly wondering, like, why the hell are we treated so terribly, yo? Like, what the fuck did we do? You know what I'm saying? Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness, right? That's why we're in the predicament we're in, because we don't want to serve the Most High, right, in joyfulness. And with the gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness, right? We got to go to these enemies, these other nations, for everything we get, for our clothes, for the Gucci, for the Louis, because our people, they like to rock the most expensive shit, and they be making the least amount of motherfucking money. And guess what? We got to go to the white man for all these things. We got to go to the Chinese man for all these things, right? Because they fabricate it in their factories, in their so-called sweatshops. And guess what? Do we have our own factories? Do we have our own sweatshops? No. Right? We go to them for everything, for our water, for our food, right? And, this is, them. This is the curses that the Most High put upon us, right? So we literally going to be oppressed as much as possible, man. Right? The Lord, he's making us feel that pain. And in one of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee. Well, that's exactly what they did. When you look up slavery pictures of our people, they had literal chains of iron around their necks. And it's only our people. When you search that up on the internet, a yoke of iron upon thy neck, you're going to see a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American man with a big-ass piece of metal on their neck. You see what I'm saying? And it says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. And what is the on the flag of America? An eagle. So what about Spain, France? What else? Right, Spain, France, Great Britain, right? All of these countries are represented with eagles. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, right? So you can't make this shit up. It's the same people that's doing this shit to us today is lining up with the Bible. They rep the eagle on their flag, man. So you see that? So, that just shows you how true and real the Bible is, and this is not just a fairy tale, man. This is very much real, and this is very much what's going on. And it's time that we return unto the Lord and serve him with all our heart, all our soul, and all our strength, that he can reverse these curses, and we no longer have to be under these things, and we can be free, and we can live happily in the kingdom of heaven, right? Because that's the whole purpose of the Lord coming back, man, to deliver us from all this oppression, right? To be saved, to receive salvation is to be delivered from your enemies, and that's exactly what the Lord is coming to do, right? If we keep the commandments as a people, and we repent, and do what he commanded us since the beginning. Now, with all that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, glory to the Most High. I got to depart for time's sake, but Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, go to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Aman, Hallelujah, praise Maria, Khan.